Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole Bridger. Today, I want to talk to you about holding on to our story. It's feeling a little bit raw for me right now because I was sort of agitated and awake in the middle of the night last night, having some realizations in sort of deeper levels of some of the stories that I've been holding on to, though totally aware of it, but unsure of how to really let go and start telling the story that I really want to tell. So before we begin, taking a deep breath for these next few moments together, allowing yourself to just be here. So the story that I want to talk to you particularly about today is, for me, around romantic relationships and partnership. And for me, when I was with my ex-husband, who struggles still with drug addiction, I really abandoned myself to try to help him, which I didn't realize at the time was not going to serve either of us, but was the place that I was at. And when my son was born, he abandoned us for drugs. And though that is what happened, if I continue to let that story be my truth, then I will never create the dynamic that I want with a partner. So let me dig into that a little bit. So one of the things I find kind of frustrating when healers or people or psychiatrists or coaches talk about your story, they kind of, almost in a judgmental way, say, well, that's your story. Well, of course that's my story. That's what happened. But the difference that I want to get to today is it's not that it didn't happen. It's about the decision you make when facing trauma that's going to shape the rest of your life. So when my ex-husband abandoned us, my son was only a few months old, and myself, and I soon found out he was not just struggling with addiction, but also infidelity. So there were many levels of hurt, and also, this kind of feeling of like, I've been completely lied to. Who was this person that I was trying to help, and how was I tricked, and how did I not see the truth, and how could he have lied to me for so long? In all of that, I decided, perhaps even on a subconscious, maybe not, maybe more conscious, that I just can't trust men. That I also almost can't trust myself to decipher which ones are trustworthy. And when you're faced with that level of trauma and you make a decision like that, like I cannot trust men in romantic relationships, you create a way of surviving. Okay, well then, to make sure that that doesn't ever get me again, I'm just gonna do it on my own. It's all up to me. And that was a choice that I decided then and there when I scooped up my baby and left, that from now on was all up to me, and that I was going to take care and handle everything for me and my son. And that's essentially how I've shown up for the last 10 years of my life, not just in romantic relationships, but also in my business. I definitely felt like I could trust my father to be there, but in a way, he was the one person that I never want to depend on. Like, I was more eager to break my interdependence in that relationship and stand on my own 2 feet. So interestingly, it's sort of now that I'm in a relationship and I could see how, since I decided that I was romantically interested in him and started to fall in love with him, that there was a part of me that was really holding on to this belief, well, but it's all up to me, and not allowing him to come in, and also that I cannot trust men. So then I would almost look for reasons why I couldn't trust him, why he wasn't the person that he says he is or is showing me he is. And last night, in the middle of the night, I was feeling agitated, and I've been working on this story for a while, aware that it was there, but not sure how to shift it. And interestingly, you can hear the story that you're holding on to quite easily when you listen to the story that you're telling people around you, when you meet new people. And I just kept noticing how I was unwilling to let go of the story that it's all up to me, that other mothers who have active, supportive partners have it easier than I do, that I wish that I had a kind of supportive partner like that in my life, that I was never going to be able to have that I was safer to just stay me and my son. These kinds of voices, and I could hear it when I was telling people, oh, well, it's always been the two of us, or I've always been on my own, or my partner, my ex-husband doesn't support us, never has. Kind of in a way like holding a victim energy around it, and a self-pity and anger and resentment. So last night when I was agitated and awake in the middle of the night, I just sort of sat with that and realized how much anger and resentment towards my ex-husband, towards our current situation, towards myself for allowing that person to come into our lives. This is not the first time that I have seen this part of me, but even when you heal it, when you're triggered again later, because being in a romantic relationship again now really not just triggers me, but it begins to knock at the door of the belief that you are holding on to, that your soul is ready for you to let go of. So I began feeling agitated and uncomfortable because my soul is saying, hey, you're holding on to this belief that you can't trust men, and that you're all on your own and it's all up to you, and it's not aligned. It's not aligned to your divine self, and it's not at all aligned to the life that you want, the life that you desire to draw in. So now, coming back to the idea of holding on to our story, you need to ask yourself, what's more important? For me to hold on to the truth of what happened, or to allow myself to be set free and choose thoughts that are aligned to my divine self and to the life that I want to draw in. I want a life where I can trust my partner. I want a life where I am supported by my partner. I want a life where we share the responsibilities, the burdens, we support one another. And while I know that this is true and possible, there's still that part of me that says, yeah, but not for me. It's not possible for me. It's possible for other people, but not me. So how do we move now into really healing this? Is simply by being aware of the part of you that feels so terrified to let go of the story. That part of me that said, fine, it's all up to me, I can do it on my own, has served me so well. That's how I've been strong enough to be a single mom, to run a business for the last 10 years. Because before this, I had a clothing company for 10 years. And it allowed me to survive, to keep going. And so I can't hate this part of me. In fact, I have to say thank you. Thank you for working so hard. Thank you for giving me the strength to survive, to keep going. But it is time. It's time for me to be in alignment to my divine self, to my true self, that knows that I am safe to trust my own inner guidance when choosing a partner. I am safe to allow a man into my life, to trust them. And I deserve a partner who's going to support us, support me, and share this life with me. I deserve that. And as you begin to calm that part of you that's been working so hard and so terrified and just trying to keep you safe, you begin to slow down that kind of reactive sympathetic nervous system so that you can align to your divine self, whether it be through deep breathing, meditation, or just intention. And begin becoming aware of the story that you are telling. Is it aligned to the life that you want? So now my story is, sure, this happened, but my son and I are so great. We get to live this incredible life where we live in Bali, we meet incredible people. I'm now an intuitive coach and I love what I do. And it's only because of the journey that I've had that has brought me here to this moment. So instead of describing my story like a victim who can't trust, who's still suffering, I shift the energy to one of gratitude. I am stronger now, wiser now than I ever could have been without that story. And in fact, my soul drew in those experiences so that I could learn this very lesson. So I hope that's helpful for you guys, because I hear that a lot. Oh, that's just your story. And it's just not helpful. It makes you literally want to hold on to the story even tighter, because someone's threatening to take it away, and that's been your lifeline. So before you steal away the lifeline, give yourself a boat that you can be safe in. Give yourself the oars so you can direct yourself in the path you want to go. Thank you so much for this time. It's been very raw to share this kind of story with you as I'm processing it myself. And I thank you for sharing this time with me. And please do reach out, NicoleBridger.com, and let me know your thoughts or questions. And have a blessed day.